And welcome back to Real People with Stan Simpson, Connecticut's Joe Gattani, and Tim Ploget. Both amputees have turned their most horrifying experience into defining moments that transform their lives. They're now empowering others who have also lost their limbs. The two recently opened Med Prosthetics and Orthotics in Windsor. The business provides custom prosthetics from those who understand the journey. And this message: the loss of a limb does not mean the loss of a life. Tim, that was you doing that water skiing out there. You're pretty good, man. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's all right.
So you had the courage to go back on those skis after it caused your accident. Tell us about that. How much courage did that take to get back on those water skis? This is how you got hurt.
25 years. It's between, yep. So it's 25 years.
25 years between, okay.
Yep.
So you didn't go back on the horse. Okay, 12 years, wow.
No, I just, I always loved it, but because of what happened to me, I never went back, and then a few years ago, I said, I think I'm going to try it again, and so, so.
That's a big deal, though, psychologically. So what was that like to go back and confront the beast, so to speak, right? What was that like?
Well, I'll tell you, it wasn't scary. It was just like I didn't know in my mind if I could do it.
Right. But you weren't tentative. You were having fun out there.
Yeah. Well, that was after a lot of falling.
Right. But I mean, for you, so mentally, that's got to be something. I mean, it's like falling off a horse and going back on there. It takes a while to get. It took you 25 years, but you had to feel good about yourself when you did that. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So. Yeah, it definitely made me feel better, made me feel like it's a part of my life. I wish I had done it years and years before, when I finally did it, because it's like freeing. I still do it like, I drive my wife crazy because I'm like, every nice day when the water's calm, I'm like, hey, let's go.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you were in the Paralympics. We mentioned that Joe was a world champion in the 100 and 200. You were a volleyball player in the Paralympics. So what was that like? You kind of sort of used your multi-sport skills and took up volleyball very late in life, and what was that like?
Yeah, I played volleyball, beach volleyball sort of thing, in high school, like just pick up, you know what I mean? Just never organized. And then, so when I met Joe, he's like, yeah, I'm going to the Paralympics in a couple of years, you should train and do something. And I'm like, well, they don't have my sports in the Paralympics, you know what I mean? There's like no water sports or nothing. And so, I went over what sports were there, and I saw they had volleyball, so you had to try out.
Said why not, right?
Yeah, I said you got to try out, so I tried. I didn't make it first time, so I went back, trained. I hooked up with my old high school coach and soccer coach, but he coached volleyball as well.
And how old were you at that time?
I was 20. Let's see, it was. I don't know, early 20s, 21,
so learning
22.
a new sport, trying to master a new sport fairly later in life, right?
Yeah.
So what's the biggest challenge? Both you have these physical challenges. For folks watching, for folks who are going through what you're going through, for folks who have family members who are going through that, what's the biggest challenge in embracing the new normal? You guys seem to embrace who you are, very confident. What's the biggest obstacle to getting there?
I think it's in your own mind, really in your own mind. If you get past the things that are like, oh, I don't want people to see me try this, or see me try to walk. What if I stumble or something?
Self-consciousness.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
So how do you get over that?
Well, I think also, people want response right away.
What do you mean a response?
Well, they want to get up and walk like they used to, without a limp, or, as long as they've walked, as far as they walked, right away. And, it doesn't happen that way. You have to take your time. You have to be patient, just take little steps at it, but you have a goal at the end of, have a goal that you're reaching for. But try not to rush it, because you want your prosthesis to fit well. You want to get the right components underneath you. And, you need to work towards a goal that eventually you're like I did. I mean, I had to walk before I ran, but it was like once I got on the track and I was running, I knew exactly where I belonged. Some people it might be a bicycle, some people it might be just gardening out in their yard, but start slow and work up to where your activity level was before you lost your limb.
Was there a particular routine that each of you established where you said, okay, here's my new normal, here's my routine? What was your routine as far as getting back into the healing process, if there was one?
Yeah.
For me, it was just getting back into sports, being active. Being able to do the things that I was able to do before, whether it was just jumping in the car and running up to the store and buying a soda and going home. Staying home, sitting around and feeling sorry for yourself is.
We had Jim Calhoun on the show a few weeks back, and he's dealing with cancer right now. And he made a comment. He said, I have cancer, but cancer doesn't have me.
Right.
Your thoughts on that comment, because it seems to be applicable to what you guys are going through with your journey.
Yeah, it's you just got to take what's handed to you. You know what I mean?
Challenge yourself.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that really helped me. I think it helped both of us is that we both kind of like a challenge, and to have that challenge, and it's like, yeah, I think I can do this, and I think I can do maybe a little more, and so you try different things, I still do, I'm getting to be old, but I still I like to try new things and think, maybe I could do that.
What's the newest thing you're trying, or that you want to try?
Well, I'm going to do a little mountain hike this fall, so I'm getting in good shape.
Just a small one, huh?
Yeah.
There are no little mountain hikes.
Yeah. So that's the first one of those I'm going to try, but Mount Washington, it's not a huge mountain,
That's small. How about you, Joe?
Get back on the track and run 100 meters, at my age.
Yeah.
I was 21, I was young when I was running.
Yeah.
I was at my prime.
Yeah.
My accident couldn't happen at a better time, so just to get back out there and run 100, 200 meters and cycle, keep up the, the activity level that participating in sports like I used to is, it's very healthy. It's very healthy, but anything new, he wants to get me on the water, but I'm not so sure.
Not there yet, huh? On the water skiing or swimming? What part of the water do you want to get you into?
What he does.
I get him skiing, yeah.
I mean, I see him on that.
He's a daredevil, this guy.
It's crazy. It's impressive how he catches the air as much as he does, I mean, he's an inspiration to me.
So this business you all have, it's a fascinating concept. Two guys who lost their limbs who now have a business where you custom fit limbs for others. Just opened up in Windsor. How did that start? How did you guys decide to come together and form this business? And how's it going?
We've always wanted to. Timmy and I have been friends for a long time now. We've talked about, starting something for a long time. A long time, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, Joey helped me back in the day to make a leg one time when I didn't have insurance and stuff like that, and he helped me out, and I was like, that would be kind of cool. So he recently approached me and said, why don't we try this?
Yeah.
And I said, I think we could do it, So
remarkable story. I mean, think about it. We'll go to our third segment. We'll talk about the business. But I can imagine when your clients come and see you guys, it's got to be something a little different from them. Probably not expecting that when they come to see you and say, wow, they understand my journey. So we'll talk about that, sort of having that empathy with your clients when they come in, and we'll get more into that situation. Both we are finished. We're going to get final thoughts from these two Connecticut guys, Joe Gattani and Tim Ploget. Both businessmen are amputees. Limb loss survivors, they prefer. They turn their most horrifying experience into defining moments that have transformed their lives and empowering others who also have lost their limbs. The two recently opened a business in Windsor. It's called Prosthetics and Orthotics, and the business provides custom prosthetics. And their inspiring message, the loss of a limb does not mean the loss of a life. Stick around. You're watching Real People with Stan Simpson. Don't go away.